Wheels Legion, week 7 is now in the books, and your BC Lions, our BC Lions, leave Calgary with their tails between their legs as whimpering little pussycats after a very lackluster performance, falling to 5-2 after going 25-24 to the Calgary Stampeders. Major thoughts on the game for me is this game exposed some warts. Arthur?
I think the key playmakers for the Lions, they just needed to make one or two more plays. You know, you're talking about losing by 1 point. I think the playmakers needed to make some more plays in the second half of the fourth quarter, and they just couldn't do it. Roland?
Yeah, for me, I think the biggest thing that I saw was we couldn't match Calgary's intensity. They brought the intensity, and we could not match it. It was close. We could have won had we just kicked it up a little bit. Could have won. Just lost really close. So those are my thoughts. If you're joining us tonight, thanks for joining us. What a heartbreaking loss. So close. But let us know your thoughts. We'd love to chat with you and kind of go through this together. So let's dig deeper. You go first, Greg.
Well, you know what, Roland, I'm going to, just as I said off the top of the show here, some weaknesses were exposed, and your lack of intensity is definitely a weakness. And, Arthur, the key playmaker is not making plays. It's that high-flying offense that I think covered a lot of our weaknesses, whether it's the return game, the weak points in the secondary, and don't get me started on that secondary needing to know how to tackle. But anyway, let's go away from that. But yeah, the offense sputtered. I think VA went 0 for 4, which, everybody knows eventually the wheels of that train are going to get a little wobbly, maybe not come off, but I mean, he can't be at that pace realistically, not if the league has the parity that everybody says they have. And, when the offense sputters, as Dunnigan said at the top of the TSN broadcast, Calgary needed complementary football to beat the high-flying offense. We needed complementary football to pick up the sputtering offense. And the return game couldn't do it. The defense couldn't do it. Lack of intensity was apparent because, they were hitting everything that moved in a Lions jersey, and we didn't respond back. And I think Calgary wanted to drag this thing. We were talking about during the game, Roll. They wanted to drag this thing down to like a street fight, just slog it right down and slow down that high flying offense. And because they knew they couldn't go punch for punch with, the offense that the Lions came in having. But could the Lions go punch for punch in a street fight? And it didn't show that they could. Arthur?
Morbital says, was at the Mariners game, so only caught the second half on the ride home. Looked sloppy, culminating in fumbling a fumble. Still think we should have gone for it on 3rd and 8. And then he continues, didn't have confidence we would get the ball back. What are your thoughts on that, Arthur?
Well, they did punt when it was like under 3 minutes. They got the ball back. And then I didn't like the punt at 2 minutes ago. I would have gone, it was 2nd and 8, 3rd and 8. 2nd and 8 went downfield, 3rd and 8. You're at midfield. I would have gone for it. Honestly, yeah, I agree. I would have totally gone for it at 2nd and 8. I mean, if it was more than 10, 12 yards, okay. But 2nd and 8, you might be able to hit a check down your crossing route, or Adams can scramble. So, yeah, I would have gone for it.
Yeah.
I was surprised he punted.
Morbital adds, how do you allow a receiver to literally stand at the line to gain on 2nd and 18? Our defender was 7 yards off his mark. I know
Absolutely.
that was the killer. 2nd and 18, and we allowed them to convert on the first down. Unbelievable.
He was standing there. He could have had a cup of coffee. He was at the first down marker waiting. Both you and I commented on that. We're like, where was the DB?
Right after the game, when we talked about what could have gone better, that was what I picked on. Is that our DBs were playing too soft. Like when we needed, when we needed to, there were so many plays where we allowed them to convert. We were so far off, right? So is it because our DBs are too young? Maybe they don't have the experience. I mean, they got some good plays, right? We got some good hits, but our veterans, TJ Lee got that tackle on the goal line. Peters got he bit on the deeper route, and then he came back and they got a touchdown. So, but lots of little mistakes on our DBs that should not have happened.
I mean, that's a long throw to that side of the field on 2nd and 18. And I'm sorry, Ro, I don't buy they're young. They've been playing football since they were 8 years old. When that ball's in the air and you're a DB, you close on that ball. That guy caught it before we even saw a DB in the picture. And I mean, he's covering a receiver that doesn't have a lot of speed. So I don't know, was he giving him a massive cushion? Was he paranoid or was that the call? I don't, is Ryan Phillips not calling right either? Because we're going to dig into, the play calling probably a little later today too.
Yeah.
But man.
Yeah, Surrey Leo's fan says that interception at the end of the second half, bonehead play by VA, gave away the ball like a lost puppy, cost us 3 points. How many did we lose by? Was this the one that was thrown behind McInnes?
That was, well, a little short.
No, that was the Eberhardt one, I think, that interception where Eberhardt was...
The end of the first half, yeah. The end of the first half, it was short. But he was on the run. Cam Judge closed on him. Like, VA was thinking about taking off, and then Judge closed on him, so he just threw it short, and then someone stepped in front of him. So, yeah, I didn't like that decision-making.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you were close or in field goal range at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. so many mistakes. VA, the wind was a factor, right? So VA was overthrowing because of the wind, and he couldn't quite adjust. His short and medium passes were okay. His long passes were all off the mark, right? Can't really blame him. The wind was pretty strong, but yeah. Q-Man says...
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and I was just going to read Q-Man. Bad VA today, missed so many open receivers. A lot of them were the long balls, right? And I think the wind has to play a factor. Either he's overthrowing because the wind was behind him, or he was throwing against the wind. He adjusted a little bit, I think, around the end of the first quarter, early second quarter. But then, sorry, Arthur, go ahead.
So VA was saying on the radio that actually going into the wind, his passes were okay. Like, absolutely going into the wind because it didn't sail on him, but when he had the wind in his back, some of the passes were sailing. Yeah. So let me ask you guys. He hasn't hit a deep ball pretty much all game.
All game, yes.
All game. Like anything over 30 yards, like 25, 20, maybe he's hit some of them. All game he's missing them. And especially when he has the wind.
Exactly.
Then he goes 2nd and 8. You got to get points. You're down by 2. Yep. He goes deep. Yes, they were blitzing. It was picked up.
Yeah.
It was picked up, right? They're saying he had time.
Yep.
They picked up the blitz. He had time to step in, and he missed it by 2-3 yards. He missed Berryhill, I believe, going downfield. Or is it Eberhardt late? And I'm like, what are you doing? Right? He could have maybe scrambled, got 5, 6. They went for it on 3rd down. But obviously, that's the last time the offense was on the field. So I don't know. I think that this was said about the Lions' offense last year. This might, because remember when we went into Toronto and the Lions were like undefeated, and then when the Argos beat us badly and VA threw 6 interceptions, those DBs said the Lions' offense was arrogant.
I don't know if our offense was arrogant today.
Well, they still took the shots, and they had no business taking those shots.
See, I don't. Well, okay. Let me just.
Can you read Morbital there? Because I want to put my point in with him.
So Morbital says blame the wind, but Sean White hit the mark. Good players can adjust. Just saying. Okay, Greg, what do you want to add on to that?
Well, absolutely. You and I were just screaming 2nd and 8. You haven't hit anything over 15 yards all day, and that's going back to the first quarter. Right? For our second quarter, we had the win. Why on earth are you launching one when you haven't hit one all day? Number one, you had time. Number 2, all in agreement with Arthur and Morbital on this. Again, he needs to. If McSimic is sending 100%. In a play to go deep,
100%.
Why is he not checking that play and going down, getting that 2nd and medium, getting that 15, 20-yard pass that he can hit on the mark? Why on earth? I mean, that's the definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different result. Well, they weren't getting one. They should have learned that back before halftime.
Yeah,
I think you got to manage your expectations, right? They're confident coming into the game. He's on pace to potentially break the all-time passing record, but you can't force something that hasn't been there all game.
Exactly.
And they got bailed out on 2 PI calls to
Yeah.
to McInnes on
Yes.
McInnes, right? That were a bit. I'd rather have those calls in the playoffs than a regular season game, because I'm like,
word. I like that word.
But
that was like, okay, I guess like even Suter goes, that's a reputation call. You know, like one of them was for sure, like he was dragged down.
Yes.
But that's not necessarily catchable. Like I don't know what
it
that DB
wasn't.
was doing. That's
Well,
one
the
of them.
DB
I
just
have no
panicked.
idea.
The DB just panicked, right?
Yeah.
I love what.
Reputation caused the panic because he had
yes.
the coverage. It wasn't, and then he grabs a jersey just to make sure. So.
Yeah.
But like it was overthrown. Like it was like none like yeah. Anyways, so
Okay,
we'll harp on it. It's play calling, but also. I mean, I don't know if it's play call or Vernon goes, okay, they're blitzing. They're sending the house.
I'm pulling
going
Hamilton.
deep.
Yeah,
it worked in Hamilton. It will work.
Well,
here.
it worked against Calgary in the beginning.
It works if there's no wind. If there's no wind, he would have made those passes, right?
Yeah,
but with the wind,
if it's in the dome, he probably makes those passes.
So let's
But he was
go
off
to
all game. He was off all game.
let's go to the line. Cuman says 2-8 late into 4 check down. Go for it. Yeah. So we've talked about that. We agree. Huge Benno says offense was arrogant, so he agrees with you. Arthur, VA needs to grow up, look himself in the mirror, and not be afraid to check it down. Stand back rumbling in first quarter, and then we abandoned the run. Yeah. I think that was the key. We got to be, two-dimensional. Skull Nation says offense was arrogant. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, the O-line and turnovers were the problem. Still got faith in them, and VA just one bad night. Remember always have Sean White. The O-line, that's the other thing. O-line was,
wow.
They were beat so many times.
On pass protection.
Remember Roland? That one series, like 30 yards the wrong way.
And those penalties. Yeah.
I was texting you guys, making a remark saying, this is one way to give your defense a longer rest by just taking 10-yard holding penalties.
Yes.
Yep.
But
I mean, I love that we always have Sean White. Yeah, that's great. Sean White's good for a 3-point, but if the other team's scoring 7s on our, got to learn how to tackle better defensive secondary. The threes aren't going to make a difference unless we can have Sean White kick 3 threes and they give away 1-7. Then we're okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a winning formula.
Yeah. So Huge Benno is doubling down on his critique of VA. It's time to have the conversation. Is Vernon Adams a fraud? Looking forward to tomorrow's edition of the Vancouver Province. He inflates his stats with selfish plays. Oh, that's pretty. That's quite a. I don't know. I would.
Is Huge Benno the one in Saskatchewan? I can't remember who's in Saskatchewan that's promised us the deep fried steak. Is that Huge Benno?
It might be actually.
I just wanted to double check because we might have to come stay at Huge Benno's place if we agree with him.
Yeah. No, my critique on Adams, I don't know if he's necessarily arrogant. He can make those throws. Like in the dome, those throws would be 100%, right? The wind is there. He's trying to adjust to the wind, and in his mind, he's thinking, "Yeah, I can make it." But of course, the wind is unpredictable, right?
Is that arrogance or is that stubbornness?
Stubbornness.
Well, it's stubbornness if you haven't hit it all game and then you're trying with 2 minutes left in the game. Yeah. At some point, stubbornness becomes arrogance.
I mean, what happened to Standback? Chipping the blitz, going out there for the little swing pass, and then letting Standback's ability to get you that 7-8 yards. I mean, even on those runs where they used him, he was getting 4 or 5 yards after contact. Those swing passes, he damages defenses on those. So I don't know, is that on Maximic? Because I mean, that's play calling, right?
Yeah.
And yes, again, the grit factor. I
think
yeah.
So Sir Elias fans,
yes.
Let's get a check on the grit level. Despite the loss, do you guys think they are showing grit out there? That's what you look for. So no. Greg says no. Arthur?
I think they're better. They're better than last year. Don't forget, they're missing Keon Hatcher, which is big time grit in the middle. Okay, and they're missing Katoy, another big time grit factor on offense, right? So I think they're still gritty. They're grittier than last year. Okay, yeah. They are greater. They do run more when they do run, and they're actually doing better when they run. Short yardage with like third down when one. Mackey's getting 4 or 5 yards. Yeah. Mimi, at least he gets 2. So I think the grit is there. It's better than last year. Is it good enough for November in the Prairies? No, but thankfully, if
We
the
still got
Lions
time.
do well, they don't have to go on the
Well.
road in November. But
Well.
the grit factor is probably not enough. Like Calgary outgritted them.
They
Right.
did, and that was Calgary's playbook today. Just
Drag it down into the street, man.
hit hard, yeah, drag it down, and they're gonna go against our finesse plays with just muscle. They're just gonna muscle us through.
I said to Roland earlier today, I know Arthur hates it when I bring hockey analogies into football.
What?
But see that the
You're not a hockey guy, man.
I
I'm
know
the
I'm not a
hockey guy.
but the Lions
I'm the hockey guy.
They have that high flying offense coming in like 80s Oilers, and until they learn to play that gritty, physical style that just that ugly 3-2 win, 2-1 win. That's when they got. If the Lions can't do that going in, not even in the playoffs, but I'm talking even when it starts to get a little colder in the prairies when it's windy, and even September, October, those count towards your record for your home field advantage. They got to learn that the wind is a factor. Don't be going downfield. Get nasty, as I've talked about all the time. Those old linemen were enjoying that run blocking when Stanback was running those off. We were like just smiling here. Well, Roland was even smiling more than I was because his fantasy points were going through the roof, and they were running like he's been asking for.
Yeah. So Q-Man says,
away from that.
Q-Man says, O-line, think Heat had a big effect on them. They play 50 snaps. Most guys you're going against play 20 to 30. Yeah, I think Heat probably was a factor. Calgary was in the Heat the whole week, and we were there just maybe for one day.
I mean, Jake Mayer had 32 pass attempts, and Vernon Adams had 31. So I mean,
Huge Banner says.
I mean, O-line to O-line, it's really. I mean, from a passing point of view, it's about the same.
Yeah. Huge Benno says, grit is Jason Claremont, Michael freaking Riley. Soft finesse stars are VA and little boy Alex Hollins.
What did I say when Alex Hollins coughed that ball up today, Ro? What did I say?
Yeah.
I said there's a certain guy that would have made that catch and hung on.
McInnes, I think, is a grit player. McInnes is a grit player.
He's proven.
We saw Eberhard. Eberhard, showed some grit today.
But they, the two guys, they need Kotoy and Hatcher back. They will make those tough catches inside. Everyone's just keying on McInnes right now. Like that first pass attempt to him, or for his first catch, he got hit hard.
Yep.
And he had to go to the sideline, right?
Yeah.
So
he was playing hurt for most of the first half.
But I'll say this though, VA did show a little bit of. I mean, he took that first play. He took a shot from Judge.
He did.
Judge drove him into the ground, and then he took another shot from Judge. Then he took that shot from Dozier.
Yeah.
I mean, and like I said earlier, the receivers at least can run off to the sideline. Someone else come in. VA can't run off to the sideline. He's got to stay in there for that second down and keep that drive going. So
and it goes back to our O-line, right? We've got a star quarterback. We need to protect him.
But after that, they didn't really get big shots on VA afterwards, right?
True.
So the Lions made some good adjustments early on the O-line.
And I think VA adjusted himself too. He's probably hanging on to the ball a little bit longer because those hits that he took, those were deep balls that he threw. So he was waiting, throw the deep ball, and he says, "I'm going to take the hit." It would have been worth it. I tweeted, it would be worth it if Hollins actually caught the ball. He takes the hit, but Hollins catches the ball. But he didn't catch the ball, and we took the hit anyway. So
those passes were not even that really close, right?
Those because of the wind, right? The wind. I mean, did you see that first kickoff or something? Our ball sailed. That was one of the deepest kickoffs we've seen.
And then we were offside. We had to do it again 5 yards back, and it still went as far.
Yeah. Q-Man says Hollins has disappeared. I think they figured it out because you hit Hollins hard, he coughs up the ball, right? You hit McInnes hard, he's going to hang on.
I wonder if the defense was keying in on the top two guys. So that's why you saw a lot of balls to Berryhill and Eberhardt. And Poisson, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so the Lions just need their depth is being challenged at receiver right now because they have two guys out. So they're going to need people to make plays.
Well, like I said at the beginning of the year, going back to what Q-Man said, if they had kept certain players, and this is the last time I'm saying it this year because he's now in a different jersey, but if they had kept certain players, the depth wouldn't be challenged so much. I'm leaving it there because I got Q-Man on my side.
All right. Morbital says, Morbital says, I grew up playing defense. So again, that 2nd and 18 is what ticks me off the most. Yeah. They should have been defending the line to gain as if it was the goal line because that was effectively the game. Yeah. It was.
Is his name Morbital?
Yeah, Morbital, yeah.
Last year, there was a halftime interview with TJ Lee coming off the field. And he said, we got to do a better job of playing to the line. Play to the line. And you as a fellow defensive guy, defensive coordinator here, Morbital, you got to play to that line, not the yard line where you're thinking you're going to give up the long ball. You got to play to the line where that first down is. You got 2nd and 18. You could have been at the 15-yard mark. You're still giving them the guy the push.
Exactly.
Still stop them from getting that 18.
Yeah.
Rest my case.
So, and Morbital adds, what message is RP giving them? There is what I'm wondering.
Well, they're picking on the field side. They're picking on Evans and Kent Jr. Okay, I mean Evans.
8-year veteran corner. In Evans,
Sorry?
8-year veteran in Evans.
Okay, well, you know what? He's probably underperforming, I would say, from an 8-year vet, and Kent Jr. is a rookie, so you're going to have some growing pains, and he's the one that got deep on that deep pass because Evans was the short zone, and Kent Jr. gave him way too much space, and you're on the field side, so by the time he throws, you got to react quicker. Maybe he was on his back foot. Sorry, using a footy analogy.
No, if he's on his back foot, that's on him. Again, play to the line. You give him a 14-yard. Morbital, you come back and back me up on this. Defensive guy. You play to the line, 15 yards. He's not getting that 18 yards.
But I think it's this positioning. He just got fooled. Maybe there was another receiver in the middle of the field and he was guarding against. But
is Arthur making excuses for Kent Jr.?
No, I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying this. It's complicated, but
because we don't see what's going on.
Yes, he should have been much closer because there's 2 receivers there, right? So he is. I mean, Hladek's providing kind of low zone support, so you're over top. I mean, you got to cover that guy.
Oh man, Huge Benno, I might invite you a deep front steak.
Yeah, Huge Benno. comment.
Couldn't even hang on to.
I'm
give me Dante.
Defensive guys coming.
Give me Dante Marsh. Thank you, Jesus, for waking me up this morning, Marsh.
That's right. Hey, we said that. Why is he trying to pick up the ball? Learned from.
That's right.
Well, see, I'm guessing Deontay Evans is Pop Warner, American. You learn from Pop Warner football. You fall on that ball. You do not.
I think he was actually trying to fall on it, but he fell on it and it squeezed out.
No, from that angle, he looked like he tried to pick it up and then he fell, and when he fell on it,
he was falling. But you see his hands. His hands were trying to pick it up. Yeah.
Fetal position, man.
Yeah.
I mean, where was that ball? It was like midfield, right? With like under 2 minutes to play, on a 1-point game. Dang, man.
Thank you, Huge Benno. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Huge Benno.
I think from what I saw, I thought he was trying to fall on it and it just squeaked out.
There was an angle.
He tried to pick it up.
There was an angle that showed.
And tried to pick it up at the same time.
His 2 hands were trying to pick it up, and that's when it fell out. Man,
as bad as the field side was, they could have just come up with a big play.
Yep.
But they just.
I mean, if TJ Lee's that defensive captain, I'm just going to go back to what Arthur was saying about bad positioning for the young guys, whatever. Then it's up to your defensive captain, your coordinator, to scream bloody murder from the sideline or on the field to get into right position. Deontay Evans is a vet. The linebackers are a vet. The safety, whatever. You guys practice 5 days a week. Fun. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, who's this, Greg? Are you paying people to comment?
Nope. I've never met this guy before in my life.
Yeah, I'm sure you're paying people.
All right.
These guys get it, though. I mean, come on. You've learned from the beginning. Fall on the fumble, right? Secure the football, right? Fall on that ball like it's a six-day-old hammer, whatever the saying is. Just get on the ball, especially at that point of the game. You're not going to change the game by picking it up and running it back for 6.
Especially not in that position where there's so many offensive players on the other side, right? So I get it. Maybe you're behind the quarterback and you're like, I'm going to get a touchdown. He was not going to beat like all those Sam Peters, right? Just get on the ball, Let the offense do it.
Yeah, like
I thought he was
Unless
trying to bat
he
it out of bounds, but no, he was trying to
yeah,
pick
either
stupid
do
thing up.
that, but maybe he had no faith in VA to throw deep. So he goes, you know what? I better pick it up and run it in by myself.
Well, then you got more problems. If the D got no faith in the O, then you got more. Then the warts I'm talking are exposed. It's even worse. But it's better that the warts are exposed now at 5-2 than at
Ball
13-3.
on ball.
yeah, fall on the ball.
Yeah.
Fat kid on a Smartie. Cyril Svensson.
Hey, that works for me, buddy.
I think that's what it is. Is it some fat kid on a Smartie? Or is it on a Twinkie?
I don't think, yeah, that's even better.
I don't care. Sir Leo fan gets the point.
Is it a fat kid on a Twinkie or is it on Smartie?
Fat kid on a burger. I don't care. He's got the point.
All right. So there's a bunch of comments. I'm going to switch gears here. A bunch of comments that I'm going to bring up. So Cyril Leo's fans, fitting that arrogance is such a theme on a day that Pascual Wally Bono was honored. Why do we act like he's a god when he was here for like 2 decades and only 2 cups? Sad. Okay, hold on, not finished. There's a bunch of others. Huge Benno says, never been a Wally guy. How arrogant do you have to be to not wear a headset on the sidelines? Bono was always propped up by the CFL elites.
Greg, are you typing? These are your burner accounts, Greg? Oh man! Please,
right.
is someone going to talk about G. Roy Simon?
All right, so okay, your take on Wally Bono comments.
In Wally's defense, he did credit the people that built the teams. Roy Shivers gave him great personnel. Got to give him that. And Wally was very good at getting his OCs and DCs to get the job done. I mean, I said to Roland, you ever heard a Wally Bono locker room speech before a game and during halftime? It ain't very good. I mean,
Are they better than Rick Campbell's?
A great motivator.
Are they better than Rick Campbell's?
I think.
Okay. That's a mic drop. All right, go on.
All right,
No
go on.
sidetracking. No sidetracking. But go ahead. More Wally comments there, Greg. I know you got a ton.
Yeah, you can't argue with his numbers, but yeah, I'm not. Wally will be the first to admit it's not him. He gives credit where credit is due. He is a legend. I mean, his numbers speak for themselves. He's won more than the Don.
So he had 12 times he's hosted a playoff game. So either the West final or the West semifinal, right? Is that it?
I would think so. Sure.
So out of those, he got 5. So how many grip up appearances? I think he had more. I mean, he had 5 wins. So his conversion rate.
Yeah, it's not very high. Yeah.
Great. I mean, he's
the
still.
Buffalo Bills of the CFL.
Well, no, he's won.
True.
But 9-team league, and you've been in here so long, and you have you're the league leader or ever in wins. Maybe.
Yeah.
What did we say? Rolling 280 wins, 5 Grey Cups out of 280. That's not a great percentage.
Yeah.
But
well,
his
I mean,
wins,
that's
as a coach, you can't argue. His wins are great.
Okay, I'm going to bring up a few more comments. There's lots of chatter here. So Huge Benno, Wally Bono, not a motivator, not a tactician, just a guy with high cholesterol. Give me a break. Sir Leo's fans, why only 2 Grey Cups when he was here for so long? So yeah, Arthur, you mentioned that. 3 Grey Cup appearances with BC, Sir Leo fans.
So he's 2-1 for with BC then, right?
Yeah. Huge Benno says, why did Wally always have us choking like dogs in West Finals? Sir Leo's fans says, not good enough for how long he was here. Huge Benno says, can't even give the guy a Gatorade bath because of his heart. Give me a break.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty,
this is
pretty colorful,
I have to say.
colorful comments. Morbital says, my only gripe with Wally was not playing Casey Printers
What
in
did
the
I say earlier
2004
today,
Grey
Ro?
Cup.
What did I say? Morbital, if I can. I went to that Grey Cup. I flew with the team to that Grey Cup. I sat in -21 weather on a metal bench in Ottawa for that Grey Cup. And it was Dickinson to G-Roy all day long in double, triple coverage. And it drove me freaking nuts. I can't say the words I want to say on the air.
Greg, he's the GOAT.
Sorry, no, that game I was there. I was there when I got back to my hotel, Jimmy the Jet's dad was on the phone with Jimmy's agent. Get him the hell off of this team. And I was there. I mean, I was told Casey Printers rented my basement during that year, and I know a lot of the stuff that the media didn't hear. And that Grey Cup game was a travesty. Casey gets you there. He's the league MVP. And Dickinson comes back from injury and you put him in. It was awful. Absolutely awful.
So that game, they put Casey in with 3 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And they were like down like, well, how many points? Like a touchdown or something? Huh?
Too many. He was ice cold.
Like, what's the point, right?
No, it was awful.
Like, why bring him in with 5 minutes to go and you're down so much?
Yep.
Yeah.
And you got Claremont open. You had Frank Catolo, again, the other guy that was renting my bit. Frank Catolo, rookie of the year in 03. You got him in Claremont. Claremont, a guy you want carrying the ball in minus 21 weather. But no, you're throwing to G-Roy. I got Tyrannosaurus arms in the winter in triple coverage. Like, it's brutal. Absolutely brutal. And Dave Dickinson, how mobile is he? Enough said.
Right, I'm going to read
Huge Benno, I'm with you on that one.
Read a few more comments here. So, Huge Benno, yep, good point by Morbital. Wally banned printers from the sidelines too. That type of mafia attitude doesn't sit well with me. Sir Leo fans got beat like dogs by Pinball Clemens and senior citizen Damon Allen.
Yeah. How many times, Surrey Leo's fan, how many times did the Lions have the Argos second and long and Damon Allen on his own either ran for the 9 or more yards or threw it for 9 or more yards? Every single time. You got Carl Kidd playing out there with a broken hand. And, enough said. That's reliving some painful 04 for me. Won't go there any further.
Yeah. All right. Let's switch
Thank
gears
you,
a little
Leo
bit.
fan. Love you, man.
Switch gears a little bit. Another thread that's going through the chats here. Huge Benno says is focusing his anger on someone else now.
Reed. Oh.
Rick Campbell is a bad coach. Maybe we can hire
Greg, are you with them? Come on, Greg. Come on. You with them?
Goes, what about hiring Wally?
Okay,
And then wait, he's not done. He goes, any chance the Lions can fire Wally one more time?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but Wally was anointing Benny as the heir apparent, right? And Benny took over. Wally went upstairs, and I think, I don't know, rumor has it Benny lost the room. Benny lost the sideline. Wally came back down. Then there was that other guy that Wally brought in that basically cost us Andrew Harris. I can't remember any. What's it?
Tedford?
Tedford, the guy that was a third-string journeyman quarterback at the best, and we bring him in, and then he bolts from the team. What? Not even a third of the way through the season. We cost us Andrew Harris because he banned him from attending O-lineman meetings. Yeah, thank you, Tedford. And
yes.
You're right. And I don't know. Wally kind of screwed the whole team up there.
Okay, Cuman says 20 years ago, people. Let's go back and talk today's game. Today's game.
Come on, man.
Yeah, wounds that cut deep, going back 20 years. Yeah.
But still, Wally was the best coach and GM in Lions history in terms of winning games and winning Grey Cups.
On pure numbers, I would have to agree. Pure numbers. Yeah.
Morbital.
No, Chris Jones.
No.
Boy, oh boy.
That's a winky face he's got there, right?
Yeah.
Would you? Okay, Greg, I'm gonna ask you this direct question. Would you hire Chris Jones or G-Word to be the next GM? You had to pick one of those two.
I have to pick one?
Yes.
It's like, how do you want to die, right?
You want to die?
I have to pick one.
Yeah. Okay. Enough said.
I'm throwing this out to my legion out there.
Superman.
Superman. I don't know if Morbitel knows, but Greg doesn't like G-Roy a lot.
Tyrannosaurus arms, man. If the ball ain't placed, he ain't diving for it. Superman at least knows how to lay out. If you watch
Superman doesn't need to block too. Superman doesn't need to block too, right, Greg?
Oh, don't even get me. That's at least I said to Roland. This is at least nice to see the receivers of Lions blocking.
Oh boy.
Whoa, here we go. Here we go.
See, so I think after all said and done, Wally's still the best GM and coach we ever had. So, is that saying a lot? Maybe not, but he's still the best. So.
Well, didn't Ed Hervey kind of give Claybrook the screws and get rid of him to bring in Campbell as soon as Campbell was available?
From the inside sources I had about Claybrooks, it was so disorganized. Like, it was really disorganized. So
Morbital. I thought you were. Oh, I thought Morbital was on my. Oh man. Ooh. There are
all
so
right, let's
many
get back to
more
this
Okay,
game,
Morbital.
yeah,
Roland. We
let's
got
get
lots
back.
of talking points.
Let
Yeah,
get
lots
back.
of talking
Yeah,
points.
back to this game. Huge banner. We need a kick returner.
100%.
Jonas
Have
Davis.
I been crying? Have I not been saying that from the get go? You guys tell me
You
to
have.
calm down.
You
Calm
have.
down. We're
But now
coached that
it's
way.
it's getting to the point where yeah.
I mean, look, just look at. Okay, they lose their kick returner and they put in the guy that got hammered
Logan.
last week,
Logan.
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 And what does he
Yeah.
do? Bounces to the outside.
Yeah, but
Right?
Logan was
Vector.
Logan is a known commodity. He was a good kick returner
Mhm.
when he was returning
Yeah.
balls.
Yeah.
So I mean they got depth in their kick return, right? For
But
him to
I'm-
be the
Always
backup.
has that. They have that
Williams
depth
does
in
the
their
same
running
thing.
backs.
He cuts inside the wide contained guy, and then hits to the sideline.
Wait, Williams?
Williams does the same thing what Logan did to us.
Wait.
He went
I didn't-
around the contain, and then he went inside the contain, and then kicked it outside.
once.
He didn't
needs
do
to
your
that more.
vector.
He
He
needs
never did.
more.
Actually, he didn't do the vector at all.
Hang on. Hey,
He just-
can we read what Morbital said, Roland? We got to stop Arthur here. Let Morbital just read that one more time.
Just saying to you, man. Just saying to you.
Yeah, Greg's.
Yeah. I know It's just I don't know why he just seems to go straight up. Like I was really starting to believe Roland, like I said earlier, when Roland said that's how he's coached, just run straight ahead,
Yeah.
get what you can. That way the offense starts between the hash
Yeah,
marks.
yeah. Because we've seen 87 try to get out, right? But this whole year he's just playing safe, and I think I'm guessing that's what he's being told. Just
Not
get
only this year, Roland. It's
But
been
then-
the last
Yeah.
year and a
But
half.
then now
too.
it's time. This should show the coaches that safe isn't always the best way anymore. Because I mean, the way Calgary's defense was most of this game, letting us get to the 30, it didn't matter.
I think that's where you have Barry Hill that can do it, and he was returning kicks in preseason,
Yeah.
and sometimes they drop him back to do a 2-returner set. So in the beginning part of this year, I think you'll see Barry Hill maybe do it. I mean, again, the Lions were within a score, 1-score game,
yeah.
and they've been pulling out those games, except for Toronto, where they actually threw the game.
Yep.
But they were in this
No
game.
pun intended.
Yeah, and they were in this game, and it's just like, okay, Williams will just get me in there, and then VA can just work down. Like that's all Campbell's thinking, right? We just need to get in the field goal range. We're down by 2, down by 1, and then kick the winning field goal. That's all he was thinking. So I think Williams can do that, but if you're down by 2 scores, or down, if your offense is like stuck in the mud, like they were, then you needed something to get you flip the field.
Look
Yeah.
what Janarian Grant did for Toronto when they were down yesterday.
Yeah.
He got him close. I think we do have, just to answer Huge Ben there, I think we do have a running back. Roland, if you want to read that thread, I think we do have one in number 28. And he's
28. Who's 28? What's his name?
He's that guy that's built like he's got he's like 5'9", he's like 260. He's a big fella.
All right.
Low center of gravity. I'll get that in a second here.
Yeah.
Ellis? Hang on.
Yeah. Huge Beno says, yeah, I miss having an Ian Smart football.
Yeah, yes. I was talking to him last night on Facebook. Yes, I miss Ian Smart or even who's that other guy? Tim Brown. I'll take Timmy Brown when Benny was our special teams the first time around. I'll take Tim Brown.
Huge Bennett says, if we don't get our asses in gear, we'll miss out on hosting the West Final. Again, VA in Cold Regina in November. Yeah. The way our team is playing is that we've got the finesse, right? If we're playing in BC Place Stadium, it's lights out, right? But when you're playing out in the prairies, like Arthur, you said, we need to have a strong running game and not abandon it. Like, Standback was getting first downs on first, right? 12 yards, 13 yards. And we got to keep going with that. Otherwise, then our passing game will be better, right? So,
we lost in Toronto. We lost in Calgary. What was our other road game we kind of squeaked by? Who do we win on the road? Because this is they're 5-2, so we played at least 3 road games, right? They're just getting by on the road. It's really close games.
Was it the Winnipeg game in Winnipeg?
Yeah, in Winnipeg they won. Again, it was like it was a close game.
Montreal.
So they're all close. I mean, really, this year they're all close games, except for a couple of late touchdowns. BC would be up by 2 scores, and that's when they're at home.
But you see, that's the difference. When Winnipeg was winning their back-to-back cups or whatever, they played well in the Prairies because, well, that's where they're from. But they also played well in the Dome because if you play well in the Prairies, when you take all those elements away and you keep executing that same way.
Exactly.
So the Lions got to figure out, because they can't be a pretty boy Dome team. And the backup running back is Jordan Terrell, 5'10", 210. He's on the practice roster right now, but he did well when he touched the ball earlier in the year.
Yeah. So Cuman adds on says 87 will never get cut. He goes north every return. Coach's dream. Yeah, I mean I think that's what the coach is just asking him to do.
What kind of coach you have, and what kind of dreams that coach has.
It would be Greg as the special teams coordinator. That's for sure.
Yeah. Here's something for you, Greg. Surrey Leo's fan. I think Greg could put up better pass protection than Kent Perkins.
Thank you, Surrey Leo's fan. Even though I maybe weigh a tenth of Kent Perkins. Yeah. I might have just laid down, let him trip on me.
Kent Perkins dragging us through the mud like absolute dogs. Wally Bono diet.
Wow, Beno's got some Beno.
Playback that second and 18. 61 is smiling. All right. High level thought from Morbital. Who is the best coach in the league? Why doesn't Amar go all out and hard poach that person? It's what we did with Wally. Who do you think is the best coach in the league, guys?
Ooh. I mean, is it more the coordinators or the coach?
Yeah, because with Wally, he did well because of his coordinators, right?
Yep. Okay, for me, I like Corey Mace. Honestly, when I listen to his conferences and I see like people, the players play for him.
They play for him.
When the Lions went in again against that Toronto defense, it was a pain to play against. I think that the players, he's got a good mix of. I like Corey Mace, and so far he's done really well in Saskatchewan without their starting quarterback. So, that's my vote right now.
Yeah, I got to agree with Arthur because a lot of the Toronto players that did leave Toronto came to Saskatchewan, and we had the same struggle against the Saskatchewan D. Even though we pulled it out, we had the same struggle against that Saskatchewan D that we did the Toronto D. And Mace, I mean, this is the first time as a head coach, right? DC before that, and then I think line coach before that. But you don't hear him as one of the upcoming minds like you hear about Ryan Phillips and Jordan McSimic. Until they put on a totally dominant game or consistent defense that does what it says, pressure, and we're going to dictate the game. I haven't seen that yet. And he keeps saying that every offseason from RP. Love RP. But I have not seen that aggressive dictate. My key to the game today, I believe, Roland, was consistent pressure on the quarterback. I wasn't looking for sacks, but you got to disrupt the timing of a Calgary of offense. They did none of that.
Mayer was totally
comfortable
in a rhythm.
Yeah,
300 yards passing, high completion rate,
and
no turnovers.
Deep balls which Mayer doesn't throw. I mean, Calgary's not a deep ball offense because look at the head coach couldn't throw a deep ball to save his life. A la the 04 Grey Cup that we talked about. No going back there. But Mayer was throwing deep balls and we were completing them. It was just anyway.
Yeah, and
our secondaries are kind of our field secondaries.
Yeah, that's it is. Yeah, because this year and even last year, deep balls was something Mayer couldn't throw, right? So he's definitely improved.
Except against us.
Yeah. Okay, comment from Huge Venom. As Dave Pratt said, you got to be able to put your ass on the line and be able to write a check. Coaching staff is key. We need to rehaul this coaching. Tired of Ryan Phillips' dog and pony show. Yeah, RP. Like, our defense has shown some hints of brilliance, but when our DBs line up so far from the receivers, it's just too soft, right?
And if I can just add, RP was a defensive back. That experience should be able to translate to some of those younger guys, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, overall, yes, he's a DC, but he has been a defensive back.
Exactly.
You just some little mentorship or some little hints.
I mean, little things, right? Like the pursuit angles. There were so many pursuit angles today that was so bad. We could have stopped them sooner, and they got another 10 yards because our first DB made a really bad pursuit angle.
or our favorite Roland, diving at the legs with no arms extended, not wrapping up, trying to get that NFL take you out at the knee hit, and it misses bad.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, Leo's fans, throw something into the mix here. Amar has the checkbook. Go get Bill Belichick. So
Okay,
why
this
not?
is totally not Greg. This is totally not Greg.
No.
Okay, wait. Let me finish. There's a few more comments. Huge Ben, I think Belichick would be great. Key. Belichick to BC is the play defense first.
Oh,
Huge Banner says what Bill Belichick could do in BC would be nothing short of incredible.
Oh, okay.
okay. This is totally not Greg. Or this is where you diverge from Greg's thinking.
Yeah.
All right, Greg, what do you think about Bill Belichick?
Game passed him by a long time ago. Long time ago. Again, I got to go with Arthur. Like Corey Mace has got. Corey Mace grew up in this country. He played football in this country in high school. I mean, yeah, it's American football rules in high school, but I mean, he went to BC Line game. He knows this game. He knows the nuances of the offense of this game. You know, when Huffnagel came out of the Arena League, that's when all of this waggle and everything started. And when Calgary started that, everybody else copied that shotgun waggle. Corey Mace has figured out how to kind of at least disrupt that. I mean, he's not getting all the wins, but I mean, my goodness, they went undefeated until they played us. So, no, I'm sorry, Bill Belichick, there's a reason New England let him go. I mean, what did he say about Nathan? Good quarterback, Canadian kid, works hard.
Okay, so if I may, about Bill
Okay,
Belichick,
Arthur, your thoughts.
since I'm an NFL guy, maybe more than Greg now.
Way more.
So if I'm Bill Belichick, can I get people to steal the other team's playbook?
Oh!
Can I also,
Ow!
right? I mean, they had, right? And then you have the Spygate where they're taping closed practices from angles you're not supposed to tape, right? That they were caught. Oh, can I also tamper with the headset so the opposing team loses communication between the sideline to their quarterback? Can I also do that? Oh, can I deflate the footballs to below standards in the NFL? So if I can do all four things,
then you'll go for it.
And get like a generational quarterback on my team, like luck into him, then
you're talking about
let's
Rourke.
bring Bill Belichick in.
You're gonna bring Belichick
all
and Rourke.
5 of these things, then that's my coach. But
Well, this is the CFL. There's not anywhere near the number of headsets on the sideline there is in the NFL. So tampering with that could happen.
That could happen. How about stealing other teams' playbooks?
Well, I mean, like you said, Arthur, it's only a 9-team league. Every playbook's the same, just the words are different. Receiver tree is a receiver tree. Just saying.
All right. So some more comments along this thread. More of a tell. Get Pete Carroll, localish.
Oh.
Q-Man says we will find out.
I like that. I like Carroll.
Q-Man says we will find out next year when we lose OC Maximic to head coach in Edmonton.
Where's my jersey here? Where's my jersey?
You've got a jersey.
Where's my?
There we go.
Oh.
Oh, wrong. Oh, get that. Get that number. Get it.
It's still a Seahawks jersey.
Oh yeah, I'll give it that. Just keep the number off the screen.
All right, let's go back to today's game. Cuman says Rugamba isn't the answer at field half as well. 2 big breakdowns versus Sask last week. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Rugamba was actually playing boundary with Peters, and that's why TJ went there. Sales would be better at field than Kent?
Yes.
But you have to. Since it's Wally Bono night, it's better to cut them 1 year early than 1 year too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
okay.
I think maybe that's where sales comes in. Now they're just gonna, it's just some growing pains. Hopefully Kent picks it up. Earl Thomas for sure. Cam Chancellor. Cam Chancellor.
Cam Chancellor, yes. But I don't know. Earl Thompson got a little bit princess-like towards the end of the tenure there, and he was, you don't finger the head coach when you're getting carted off the field when your own player Cam Chancellor breaks your leg. Earl Thomas was, I don't know, towards the end there, Maybe we don't know what's going on in that locker room. But
Cam Chancellor, but my favorite guy, Greg, you know who he is.
your favorite Seahawk?
Yeah. Close. If you're talking about Thomas, you're talking about Chancellor. Positionally, he's really close to
Your
Bobby
favorite,
Wagner.
Yeah, B-Wags. Yes.
Because he's the middle linebacker. You're talking about two strong safety and this
Yeah.
free safety.
Yeah.
It's the middle linebacker.
Yeah, but that guy's lost a step too, unfortunately.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, Sherman. Yeah.
Oh man, the Seahawks talk. I love it. Yeah.
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 The hard 49ers fan.
Yeah, but I think Pete Carroll. I think that the game's passed him by too.
Yeah.
Sean McVay for BC Lions.
Okay, I thought I had two down bros here. Don't you bring Sean McVay onto this podcast? Holy man, Sean, I gotta check my hair and my Under Armour body shirt. No, get Sean McVay out there. Brandon Browner, no, steroid abusing CFL, turn his back on the CFL, go down there and cost us a Super Bowl. No.
Locked up Jordan and locked himself up.
All right, so
that's when he was in Calgary, right? Brandon Brown was in Calgary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's when he
9:22.
got caught with all those steroids in his truck. But anyway, we won't go there. Let's go.
Yeah, 9:22.
Move
So let's try to wrap up in 8 minutes. So it'll be an hour live stream. 8 minutes left. Let's pivot quickly. We got a bye week next week. A lot of things that we need to fix. A lot of healing up that needs to be done. Thoughts on what we need to do. The game after that is in Winnipeg.
At least we'll be rested instead of going in there on a short week.
We'll be rested. It's another prairie game.
Yep.
We need
the
to
wind.
we need to get away from these finesse plays. VA needs to get into his head that if he can't throw accurately long distances like he can in the dome, then he needs to start focusing on more the mid and short passes. Even if
dunks.
if the long guy is open, right? Because very few of the long passes got through today, right? So
Actually, I don't even know of one. Roland.
Yeah. Huge Banner says, run the ball more, start playing 4-2-5 with a cover one press shell. Yeah. On to Winnipeg, a gap inside.
A gap inside, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, a gap inside. Winnipeg is going to kick our ass. Don't get it twisted. It might be time to sell.
I
don't
didn't
know.
like Winnipeg's game. Did you Huge Battle? Did you see Zach try to throw the ball?
Yeah, Zach.
But I mean, come on, that's Corey Mace's D in his face.
The Lions.
Yeah, that's true. But
VA racked up how many yards on Corey Mace's defense?
True. But again, it wasn't a dominant win. Did you watch Winnipeg? Yes. Good.
Yeah.
Cummins with you, Arthur. Are you sure you didn't type that, Arthur? I'm just checking.
Yeah. I think Winnipeg's this is not their year. Zach's off.
I think things have caught up to them. The age,
Yeah, exactly. So, but we can still lose to them if we play like we did today.
Yep.
You're going to get Hatcher back.
Three words going into this bye week. Fundamentals. Blocking, tackling, and running. There. That's my prediction for the bye week.
Kimon says Zach is awful right now. Huge Banner says once Saskatchewan gets their running back rolling, this thing is over.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean Saskatchewan is pretty strong this year.
Well,
the Lions held Ouellette in the first half, and he got some big gains, but then they bottled him up. Right.
Yep.
So, we'll see. That was in the dome, but.
Yeah, Morbital says, my thoughts on V seems like he wants to win the game on one play. Yeah. I mean, his handle, right? Big play VA, he goes for the big plays.
Do you think he was kind of gunning for that record? He needed 300 to 400 yards per game, and he was like around 2. Maybe that last shot, it was 2 guys, right? I guess it was one guy, and then the safety went over. So I mean, I can understand it's a cover 0.
Yeah.
And the guy's wide open. Well, he did have a kind of a step, but still.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know what's going in his head, but it's possible because he kept going with the deep. Yeah, the guys are open, but the wind was just not with him today, right? Huge Beno says, run the damn ball. Ouellette and Oliveira, big game post Labor Day guys. We could Standback could be our guy for that too.
Standback's a guy like that.
He
I think VA can learn. This is just I think all year those plays were kind of, he was making those plays. Last 5 wins, he was making those plays, and this is a little rude awakening. And he was off a little in the win, so I think he can adjust.
Well,
I'm hoping
he's the leader he says he is, and if he is Grey Cup or bust like he says it is, he will adjust and he will learn.
Yeah.
But they got to take this bye week to heal up, but they got to learn. They got to get back to basics. Yeah. Honestly, they got to learn how to, on the defense, those DBs got to learn how to wrap up and tackle. They got to learn how to press coverage. The O-line's got to learn how to get nasty and run block, because it's now getting into fall ball and winter ball, right?
Yeah. You saw that short pass to Barnes, and he busted it for like 30, 40 yards. One guy that went diving headfirst to a miracle tackle that completely missed. You know who that was, right?
Yep.
Was that Kent?
That was Kent.
Yeah.
21. We keep saying, well, he needs to learn he's got arms.
Yeah.
He needs to learn he's got arms.
It's too wide of a field. It's too wide of a field to just do the NFL style tackle.
Exactly.
That's right. And unfortunately, and I'm off a little bit. That's what kids are watching is that NFL stuff, and you can't do that on a 110-yard field that's 55 yards wide. It ain't gonna happen. I don't care how good your angles are.
Yeah.
Like Wally said. I'm
quoting Wally.
Yeah, he said there's no Canadian. These are just football players. You know what? They come, they try out for the team. The team's in Canada, whatever. These guys, if the coaches decide they're good enough to make the team, they're great athletes. And if you're a nimble runner and you see some guy diving, jump over him, step to the side. He's not even seeing you because he's diving with his face down. I've been complaining about that with Roland, back and forth for at least 2 years. Because before Kent, it was JEC doing that diving thing. Drove me nuts.
Yeah. So Morbital goes back to your comment about VA's thinking. Media asked him directly about 6K, and he immediately said a priority was stacking wins. But he did add, though, he kind of smiled with a twinkle in his eye, but he likes the yards too.
The yards matter.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm
the
sure
yards matter. Like the passing yards
tied to bonuses must be tied to yardage. I'm getting, and that's what they do for a living, right? So I'm not going to hold that against them. But put your money where your mouth is, VA. If the wins matter, then you learn and you adjust.
It's good to have It's good to have the confidence that you're going to take the deep shot. But when it becomes overconfidence, bordering on maybe arrogance, man, it's probably still overconfident. But the whole game, it wasn't there, so I didn't like it. But if it starts the next game and you're doing it again, it's not working, you keep doing it.
We're going to have a whole new thread coming from these guys talking about
this. Yes. So Q-Man's comment on the tackling, they're way better than other guys in Div 1. Here they are all good. You have to learn to rap.
Q-Man, you my man.
So Huge Beno goes, just lost some respect for Greg quoting Wally. Greg is smarter than this. Wally is an expert in fooling the media. All right. Cerilios' fan says fundamentals are going to be key. Going back to the
fundamentals, yes.
Yeah, to the Winnipeg game. Looking forward to doing some scouting in Whaley with my binoculars over the bye week. Got to make sure the fella's training the right way.
Well, Sir Leo's fan, make sure you send some stuff to us via whatever vehicles we got rolling, because I can't go to those practices because I'm in a 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. job, and practice is over by the time I get off work. So I'd love to see what Sir Leo fan is able to scout out. Love to be able to talk about something during the bye week. Be fun.
Yeah, Huge fan goes, took Michael freaking Riley for granted. A freaking warrior come playoff time. True. Give me Michael freaking Riley and Buck freaking Pierce in winter ball. Yeah. The guys like Jarius and VA fold like dogs.
Michael Riley was a little stubborn and going downfield sometimes too, though. Right? Riley would hang in there, take the big shot for the deep ball. But yeah, he had guts. Him and Pierce, yeah.
Grit. Those guys.
And hey, let's not forget Mr. Lule. He had some grit too.
I like Lule.
Yeah. That's why we lost Michael Riley, right? We couldn't keep both of them. And, We didn't know that Lule's going to get hurt, and then once he got hurt, that was kind of downhill for him, right?
Yeah, and then by the time Riley came back, his body was too beaten up.
Yeah.
But
More
you know what?
Yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
Let you finish the comment, but I'll have something to say, Roland. and
Okay,
you know what I'm
Morph
gonna say.
goes, let's lose out, sneak in, finish sub 100, and win like the 2000 team.
Oh boy,
There's grit.
There's grit.
Ooh, that's
yeah.
tempting fate, man. That means going
Yeah,
through
it would
the
be
prairies.
tempting fate. So all I'm gonna say is I think VA is gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
I think he's good enough to figure it out. But if he doesn't figure it out, don't worry, Lions fans.
Oh,
Next year, Nathan Rourke will come back to BC.
With Bill
I've
Belichick.
been
predicting
is is that with Bill Belichick, your prediction?
Bill
Belichick
Belichick's
and
number
Nathan
my
Rourke coming to the
prediction.
Lions
All
next
right.
year.
I wouldn't pick Bill Belichick. I take Sean McVay over Bill Belichick.
Okay, that's it. I thought you were my brother, man. Hey, that's all great, fine and dandy. Nathan coming back next year, but we've got the Grey Cup here this year, and Mr. Doman needs a Grey Cup victory in his backyard to justify everything he's done.
I think VA can do it. I think he can do it.
Yeah,
I think he can
so.
adjust. It's just like maybe those early hits took him out of his rhythm, and he was just like, I can do this, and it's okay. He'll learn to adjust.
I think so too. I mean, we're pretty tough on him because we saw a lot of mistakes, but I do respect his character. I respect his character. I respect his work ethic. I know that he's not selfish. He puts the team first, right? He puts others first. So
yeah, we put him a high standard because he's hit at a high standard this year.
Yeah,
and certain games last year, right? So we know in the Western semifinal, oh my goodness, right? So he has some high watermark games.
Yeah.
And this game, they lose by 1. He's like a 200-yard passing day. If he connected on just one of those long bombs, they win the game.
But we also got to factor in, it's not just on him. There's 2 other units that did not play up to par today at all.
I thought that out of the 3 units, the defense played the best out of the 3 units.
Yeah, and well, we've heard our comments on what we thought about the D, so that should tell you our.
Well, I mean, I would say, I would say the line was average. I think boundary was decent. Linebackers were okay, pretty good. Field side.
Yeah.
If we had 12 TJ Lees out there, I think we'd have won this game with that effort and that attitude.
Yeah.
He was a leader out there. I mean, we were ready to give him a game ball had we won this game.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Yeah, he made some. That was a great goal line stand.
If anything, I think we should take Mr. Kent Jr. and every young DB, sit him down in the film room and show him that play of TJ hitting, sticking, wrapping, and throwing the guy away from the goal line on that.
Jason Haraki's out
there. I'll take that.
Yeah.
On special teams, right?
But
show
okay,
DBs what wrapping and hitting is supposed to be like. Because TJ, that was textbook. He hit him, wrapped him, and pulled them and threw him away from the goal line.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, okay, I'll ask you one play. Their first, like TJ Lee just finished that play. You're first down on your 1 yard line.
Yeah.
So so to me, it's like you drop back and you cause your O line to hold. Like, what are you doing?
That's not on him. That's on the O line. They can't hold.
The play call. It's the play call. The play call. I mean, what are you trying to do? Like, you're trying to go for 20, 30 yards? You held him to the ball. If it's a quick slant, if it's a run, if it's a hitch, something just to get you a few yards. So you're not like holding back. And if no O-line wants to give up a safety, so you hold. Well, pretty much you gave up the safety. 2 points. What's the margin of victory?
Exactly. Yep. Those 2 points killed us. Yeah.
See, I didn't know what happened because I went to go get the pizza.
That was a momentum.
The pizza place, like, how did it beat up 19-17?
That was a momentum killer because when we stopped them, they were greedy.
Yes.
They went for 6 instead of 3. They could have kicked a field goal. That was a momentum shifting, and then we gave it all the way back.
Well, we gave them 2 points.
Yeah.
And luckily, it was a 2 and out because they could have easily made it like like they could have got another score.
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, I was just like, what kind of play calling is going on? You got to like do a quick, like have a play that's going to give you 4 or 5 yards first down. Like, and it's like high percentage. Like, why are you dropping back? Why are you
past
dropping
this,
back? This, to me, on the 1 yard line, give yourself a chance to breathe, because the Calgary D line, at times they're walking around our O line, and we have to pull them down.
Yeah.
Mind you, in the second half, they were better. Mind you, that's not saying a lot. They were better than the first half, but I don't think not good enough.
Yeah.
Amen.
Anyways.
All right. So we're past an hour. I think we should lots to talk about. There's so many things that went wrong today, but we got next. So guys, if you're online, thanks for all your comments. It was fun chatting with you, fun blowing off some steam and doing some what ifs with you guys. If you're catching this after the live stream, let us know your thoughts too. It's going to be a bye week this week, but we're still going to be on next Sunday. We'll have a show next Sunday, and then the week after that, it's in Winnipeg. So I think that's a very winnable game, but we can't play the way we played today.
Yeah, so I wanted to say shout out to the guys that all think I'm intelligent. Appreciate you guys. And hey, looking forward to the scouting report from Surrey Leos fan after.
Okay, yes, sounds good. All right, huge fan says love you guys. Surrey Leos fan, great stuff, fellas. Yeah, love you guys too. Thanks so much for hanging with us. Anytime,
Hey,
Greg.
there we go.
Greg, I think that's a plug. Someone you got some friends here, man.
Hey, that's okay. We still got in for that deep fried steak in the prairies. So
Yes.
hey, it was fun. Love talking football with everybody. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Okay.
Great to see some Lions fans out there that have passion. That's what it's all about.
All right.
All kidding aside.
Okay. Everyone have a great week, and we'll see you next Sunday. Okay.
Next Sunday.
right.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
See you guys.